All right, guys. First of all, welcome to the first episode of TradePod, the only podcast that will deliver you value, enough value for you to start trading in high quality live markets. So today we have our first guest on the episode, Nitzan. Please, we're pleased to have you here, and we're so honored to have you here as our first interviewee. So before you introduce yourself, I would like to introduce you, my founder to the podcast, Alan. So Alan, if you want, just give us two sentences about yourself, and then Nitzan will introduce himself, and we'll dive deep.
Sure thing. I'm Alan, I'm the CEO of Algospace, and I'm the co host of the TradePod podcast, and we're here to provide you the most possible value. And now, dear friends, I'll pass the mic to Nitzan Amit. The stage is all yours, Nitzan.
Great, great, great.
Great.
So
Okay,
yeah, no, Nitzan.
let's go.
So
Would you
yeah,
like me
please.
to would you like me to tell about a bit about myself?
Of
So
course, of course.
so my name is Nitzan. I'm 34 years old. From Givatayim, Israel, and I've been trading for the last decade. I'm a swing trader, which is like the middle range of trading between the long-term investments and the day trading. So my investments are focused on the couple of days till couple of weeks for each trade. That's what I'm doing for the past decade. I can hear you well.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, good. Yeah, I'm with
Oh,
you.
yeah. So previously I worked for in the banking sector. I was a banker and then an auditor in a couple of big Israeli banks. And for the past 4 years, the only thing I'm doing is trading. I've been trading for myself. I'm asset manager for private equity investors and a lecturer for private lecturer for trading and investment for people that have zero knowledge on the topic. So that's about me as a trader. Previously, I was an officer in the Israeli army, in the paratroopers brigade, and I have a
You grew up
degree.
alongside great traders, which is funny that we have just discovered it. But yeah, we'll dive deep into your trading philosophy and experience. Um, and so our first question, and as I already mentioned, the entire mission of that podcast is to highly deliver value for traders around the world to learn and absorb knowledge from each other. So Nitzan, what do you think is the most important characteristic that a trader should have in trading?
Great question. So first of all, it's mentality. 90% of trading is mentality. I just had a lesson with a student of mine that said, he asked me, well, you look at the graphs, it doesn't look that hard. And he's right. It's not that hard to read the graphs. You don't have to be a genius. But the main issue that causes loss for investors, for traders, is the mentality. Because when they put the stop losses or when they take profit, they usually don't make the right decisions because of pressure, because of fear, because of greed. And you have to turn these emotions, you have to turn them down. You have to have a strategy and to stick with it. And it sounds easy on paper, but once reality comes in, so you discover that you're a human and you have emotions, and your mentality is not as strong as you thought because you see the red color on your screen and you start to get nervous and anxious, and you start making mistakes. So the first thing every trader needs to discover is how can he manage his mentality? How can he look at losses, look at gains and profits, and still staying in the strategy, stay in lane? Because once you go off your lane, you start losing money. And I think this is the most important first thing I have to, if I can tell a beginner trader one thing, so that's the thing, the most important thing I can tell him.
I think that
Like, I have a
we all
question
agree
actually.
that mentality is, yeah, of course, Alan, go ahead.
Regarding the mentality aspect, how do you tone off emotions? Like, how do you develop that skill to tone off emotions while you're trading? Because it's not so obvious when you sit in front of the computer, in front of the screen, and you have to tone it off because you will go crazy. I mean, you see the red, you see the green, you don't know exactly what to do, what not to do. So, how do you tone off
So
emotions?
you build gradually. It's a skill, and you have to acquire it by experience and by doing the same thing over and over again, because you don't start investing or trading with all of your money. You start small, and you have a risk of, I don't know, $50 per trade. After a while, you can risk $100, and after that, you can risk $200. And at that point, you don't make real money. I mean, if you risk $100 per trade, that means that if you won, yeah, if it's a good trade, you made $200 in 2 weeks. It's not a lot, but it's the acquiring of a skill. So you start slowly and you build it up gradually. So it takes, for me, it took me about a year and a half, 2 years to actually get to a point where I can actually make decent amount of money out of trades. But the mentality was it's always a struggle. You know, it's always, because I'm still a human. Yeah,
Always a struggle.
if I have a profit of tens of thousands of dollars in a day, so I still, you know, I'm still happy. And if I lose a lot of money in a day, I'm still upset about it. But it's a lot more toned down, and I'm still working on it. Even if 10 years to the process, I'm still working on it every day. But as you go along, you start small, and steadily you have to develop
You think that's
this.
the key, like to grow small and like being like, you know, growing small with a decent amount of money is uh do you think that that's the key to practice your mentality over the years? Because I know a lot of traders that have tried to start with a small decent amount of money, and suddenly 90% of them uh, failed and they lose the entire money and they lose the entire capital. So I don't think that could be applied to anyone. So what aspect, like in my mind, what aspect do you think that a trader need to implement alongside with like building himself step by step to make sure that he can preserve his mentality for long term and to trade the markets and not lose his entire capital, because this is what we hear, this is what we play, this is the game,
Yeah,
and
so
that game is tough.
it's a good point, because, you know, first of all, yeah, it's a lot of patience. You know, if let's say that you have $100,000, you want to see it grow. And if you start small, so you have $100,000, and after 6 months, 1 year of this method that I'm talking about, you will see, I don't know, maybe if you're good at what you're doing, maybe $105,000. That means 5% profit over a year. You're better off putting your money in the S&P 500 and just let it let it work. But as you go along with this process, you have to be patient. And you actually, if you ask me, if you have that amount of money, don't put it in a trading account from the beginning. Have two accounts, one for putting your money in long-term investments, and one smaller one for your studying as a trader. The next thing you have to do, every single trade you make, every single buy or sell, long, short, whatever it is, you have to study it. After you close the trade, you have to study it. What I did wrong, what I did right. How can I not repeat my mistakes? How can I repeat my success? Because if it's very it's very tiring. You're doing over and over and over again. A lot of people think of traders, think that they are sitting on the beach drinking pina colada and trading from their phones. No, it's not that.
That's what everybody's is showing on Instagram and like Twitter,
Yeah,
like
of course, but
showing that they're highly successful and
let
they
me
make
tell you
tons
something.
of
If you've seen
dollars a day.
if you have seen the Instagram commercials, you will never see me at an Instagram or TikTok commercial. You will never see a good trader
And why
making these
so?
commercials.
By the way, this is
We don't
typical
need
for good traders. Like super traders, they don't represent themselves as a trader or even
of
on
course.
socials. So what do you think? Why you don't represent yourself as an influencer on Instagram or something?
Because they don't need to. First of all, modesty is a very good uh, uh, tribute to a trader, because you have to be modest towards the market. You have to be modest towards yourself. If I'm making money, and my if my my account is getting bigger, I don't need everyone to acknowledge it. I know I'm doing good. Why should I present it to everybody else? I have my YouTube account, YouTube channel, which I'm making weekly analysis for the markets in Hebrew. That's mainly for my students and my investors that want to know how I'm thinking, for them to have another source to learn from. But I will never present myself, going abroad and driving fancy cars, or going to fancy restaurants as an Instagram influencer. It's a job being an Instagram or TikTok influencer, and that's okay. That's a fine job if you're up to it. But that's not trading. Trading is about discipline, is about patience, is about mentality, modesty. That's what you have to be in order to be a good trader. Not boasting around and saying, yeah, I'm making a lot of money. Look at me, I am driving a Ferrari. Of course, most of these people are not driving a Ferrari. Well, they are driving the Ferrari.
That's reality. That's reality. Most traders don't
They
drive
bought it for an
Not,
hour.
not quite. I mean, not quite. Not the most the most successful traders do not show up like as
Yeah,
as
exactly. You don't have to
influencers.
show off. So of course, and when you're getting cocky, immediately you will see it on your account. Immediately. When you're cocky, your trades are cocky. And that's not what you're doing. That's not what you want to do as a trader.
Of course.
Because if you will ask me what will happen tomorrow in the markets, what will happen today in the markets, I don't know.
Nobody knows.
I have my notions. I have my experience to rely on. I read the news. I follow it. I follow the markets, but I'm not a prophet. None of us is a prophet. But the main thing we have as
Of course.
traders is the ability to react faster than the institutional traders and the big money. Because big money is slow. That's how the market works. Yeah, if you want to invest $10 billion, so it's a slow process. For me, if I want to invest, I don't know, $200,000, 300,000, $1 million, it's nothing. Nobody knows this. So, I can move in an instant. That's my edge over the big money. That's my edge because they have the advantage of knowledge. They know more about me, about the market. Of course they do. They have billions of dollars. Okay, they have the
Yeah,
best people in the
of
world.
course.
So
Yeah,
I don't have I can't beat that. And they know all the people. They move the market. If you will ask Warren Buffett, he can tell you that he's going to move Apple. He's going to move Microsoft because he can. I can't.
he's a
But
market maker.
yeah, he's a market maker, exactly. But I'm faster than him. So if I get the start of his moving, I can get my money in between his big money. My little money is getting in between his trades. And this is my edge here. I'm faster. I'm more agile.
Yeah.
And I'm more
And
hungry.
being agile in the market is super important. Like uh for us, like in the company, we work we envision to work as a hedge fund. So since the beginning, since the foundational period, we have planned to be extremely agile to the ongoing markets to preserve the competitive edge because this is the most important aspect. Now, Nitzan, I would like to increase this conversation about mentality a little bit more, and I would like that you will explain that you will tell us about like the climax point that you had in the markets, and like the biggest pitfall that you have experienced. And I would like to hear from you how you behaved and how we can learn from your past experience to behave better when we experience great times and when we experience like a loss of thousands upon thousands of dollars.
Yeah. So as all traders and all big traders had bad times. I got to a point, at one point I was at I don't know, about 50% of my account lost. And
God.
that's because I had the strategy and it had a flaw. And I stick to that strategy. And at one point I had to reconsider it to make it better. So thing is, even if you're losing money, not it wasn't only my money because of course I manage assets to other people, so they also lost money. You have to deliver the message, to tell them, look guys, you put your trust in me and I lost your not half of
There
your
was a
money. For me
great
it was half, for
responsibility.
them it was less than half, a lot less than half, but and yet it's not a good news. But you have to stay in lane. You have a strategy, okay, if my strategy is a long strategy, I'm working as I'm mostly looking for the upward trends and I'm not a shorter. Okay, as I am shorted in real life, I don't have to be short on the market. But I I looked at the market and I said, okay, there will be a break. It will go up again. And once it will go up, I know what I'm going to do. This is the first thing. So don't
Like
lose.
it's more of a having a plan, have like
Yeah, you have a plan. You have a plan, and you know that in this plan, sometimes you're going to lose money.
Mhm.
That thing I did after I got the break, I sat down. I told myself, okay, look, if it's your money, there's no problem. You can manage your money however you like. I know I can manage myself with 50% loss, that's okay. But I can't stay with this flow in the plan. I have to study it. I have to, investigate what happened and to make my strategy better. So every time you identify this flaw in your plan, there will be a flaw. Eventually, there will be a flaw, but it should be smaller. You have to improve yourself every time. So once I got myself out of this situation, I sat down. First of all, I took a week off. Okay, I didn't trade for a week. And
To
after
recover?
that, what? Yeah, to
To have a
mental
recovery or
recover.
something?
I took a trip to Greece to visit my brother who lives there. I stayed there for a couple of days, and I was processing what happened. And after that, I came back, sat down, asked myself, okay, how can I neutralize this flaw in the plan that made me lose money? I will lose money somewhere in the future. Not that amount of money. I fixed it, of course. Not this amount of money, and not on that way. Something will happen. Yeah, of course, nobody has 100% of green days, but you shouldn't be so inside your head, because once you're closed up in your head and focused on the losses, you start operating on fear, operating on anxiety, and that's something that is horrible for traders.
Yeah, anxiety and
You have to
you
stick your
manipulate the
first of all.
markets. I don't think
First of
it's a
all,
good
if
risk.
you know your strategy is the one that will make you eventually profitable, so stick to it. Even if you're losing money, stick to your strategy. Strategy is everything. Okay? The mentality or the weak mentality is what makes us move away from our strategy. And by the way, most of the time that I lost money was the times that I moved away from my strategy. When I came back to it, I made the money come back every time. So of course, yeah, if you have a bad year or a bad quarter or even a bad month or week, try and sit down and identify this weak point, this weak link, and once you've done that and you pass that, that's it. It will never happen again. Because
I have a question. I have a question, and I'm sorry to stop you in the middle of your speakings. As a trader,
yeah,
I would like to know how you prepare yourself to the next trading day, because when we're talking to traders, and it doesn't really matter if they're super traders or amateurs, they all prepare themselves differently. And the super traders tend to prepare themselves in a common way that enables them to remain focused for the entire trading day. How do you prepare yourself to a trading day, and how you're trading, like how your day is looking, how your days look like before you enter to the markets?
so first of all, I'm not a day trader. I'm a swing trader. So I have a weekly plan, not the daily plan, because
Oh,
I
all
don't know
right.
what will happen. I don't know what happens every day, but mainly I open my day with first thing I do is reading news. Like I'm drinking coffee and reading the news or hearing the news. A lot of YouTube channels provide
So
what happened,
you're
and
getting updated from the markets every day, but you're not trading every day because you're a
Yeah,
string
exactly,
trader.
exactly. I have a weekly plan, and of course, I have every Sunday, which is the day off, yeah, for the markets. So I sit down and I plan what will happen this week. What are the main economic issues for this week? Like next week, there's the Powell addresses the interest rates, yeah, and the Fed rate is going to I don't know, maybe it will be lowered, maybe not, but I know it's going to happen. The unemployment, the PCE, CPI, yeah, all the
Nice.
inflation, and this week the GDP growth of the United States. So every week I identify what are the main economic news that's going to go out. And second, of course, the earnings reports. Like today, as we're speaking, Tesla and the Alphabet are going to publish their quarterly earnings. So that's interesting for me because they affect all the market, not just Tesla and Alphabet. So I know what's going to happen this week. Now, every day, of course, I'm reading the news because, you know, every day something new happens. And if I identify, if I see something that is going to contribute to my strategy, so I use it.
Or to your
Now,
plan.
what?
Or to your plan.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Accordingly.
There's a plan. There's a plan. Now, I have to identify certain points that will contribute to my plan. Because the thing is, it's a lot about, and we spoke about it before, that we know a lot of traders that served with me in the army. War and trading are much alike because there's uncertainty in both of them. You're walking in the kingdom of uncertainty, okay? And this is
That's a great
Otto von
description.
Clausewitz. He said that the war is the kingdom of uncertainty. So, of course, I don't know what will happen. Nobody knows what will happen. Even if I'll tell you, okay, if I told you on Sunday morning that Joe Biden is going to quit the presidential campaign, yeah, what would you say will happen in the markets on Monday? I would say
To
it will
explode.
cause. I would say it
Exactly
will
like
cause.
the assassination, the assassination of Donald Trump.
Yeah, this is, you
Exactly.
know, attempt, not,
Yeah, well,
not
it was an
assassinating, of
attempt.
course. Yeah,
Yeah.
but of course, so what will happen if Joe Biden with the presidential campaign? So I thought it will make the markets go down, but it made the markets go up. So you know, of course, I'm no pro, but I have to operate on on what happens, not what I think will happen. Of course, now if I thought something is going to happen and it happens, that's the big money for me because I have my predictions, I have my plans. If my plans, if the reality goes along with my plans, that's where I'm winning. If
You get it.
not, I'm out. Okay,
You get it.
that's it. I have a plan
So
and I wait for it to come to reality. If it
absolutely.
doesn't, okay, no, nothing happens. And you know what?
Absolutely.
Look at this. A lot of known traders from 20 years ago, 10 years ago that are still operating. Every once in a while, you will hear someone that says the markets are gonna crash, right? Every week or every 2 weeks, you have somebody that says the markets are gonna crash. How many times did you hear somebody says that and the market did not crash? How many
There's a great
times? Loads
Too
of
many,
times.
actually.
Yeah, too
lots of
many.
money.
No. Did they bankrupt? Did they lose their money? No, because They say it's gonna crash, but if it's not crashing, they're not operating. They're not shorting the market. Okay, they are waiting, and so do I. If I think something is gonna happen, I'm not trying to predict the future, because I know that if it will happen, I know exactly what to do, and I'm the fastest one there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I will lose the first percent of the market. No problem for me. I can live with it without this first percent, because these are the gamblers. These are the people that
Yeah,
went into this.
being a gambler is not the best choice. I get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
By
Alan.
the way, if the
Alan, actually, I wanted
if the
to
market
ask you
crashes, I
the
mean, it's great opportunity to invest. I mean,
Yeah,
if we
of
look
course, if the market,
on the bright
of
side
course,
of things.
of course, if the
there
if the
there is a
market crash
there is
is
a
the
famous quote. There is a famous quote that said, bulls are getting richer. Bulls will make you money. Birds will make you richer, and pigs are being eaten in the markets.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's a great
Exactly.
description.
So
That's a
yeah,
great.
so of course, if the market crash, the best year uh, of my life as a trader was actually this year.
Really?
The last like 1.5 year, from about October, November of 2022 till now, because I came ready for it. Okay, I came absolutely ready. I knew once inflation is going to go down, markets are going to go up. That's what I thought, and it happened. And as my plan came to reality and they met each other, I knew exactly what I'm going to do.
Mhm.
Not for the next week, for the next year. And it happens to be the year and a half, and still going strong. So, because I had a plan, I knew markets are crashing. That's okay for me, no problem. I'm staying
Yeah.
out.
So
And once,
when the markets when the markets are crashed, you're gonna be there. You're gonna be waiting.
exactly. So I'm waiting for it to crash. I don't
Brilliant.
know when it will crash, but I'm waiting for it. No, as it will crash, maybe I will stay out. Maybe I won't short the market. That's okay. Because I know if it will crash, I can short it, I can stay out, no problem. But when it will get back up, that's my opportunity. So this is my strategy, because I'm as I said, I have a long strategy. I mostly tend to long
Yeah,
uh, the markets. Of course,
of course.
a lot of traders like to short the market. That's okay if they're up to it and they like it. So, but and to finish it, I'll say one more thing, that every trader should have his niche. So, I mean, you should have your own different strategy that suits you. Because if you will try to copy someone else's strategy, most
Exactly.
likely that mentally you won't be up to it. Because,
Exactly.
yeah, I built my strategy over 3 years after I was trading for about 4 or 5 years. Then I started building my winning
Being
strategy.
unique.
Yeah,
Being unique in the markets.
exactly. So,
Exactly. Exactly. Nitzan,
yeah,
we would love to thank you for your time. We have gathered an enormous list of lessons that we can capture out of the conversations with you, and we hope that our listeners
Numerous
will do
insights,
the
really.
same. They
I
will do
appreciate
the
it.
same, because that was an incredible conversation.
thank you.
So thank you for your participation as the first guest of TradePod, and see you then.
Okay, see you.
Thank you, Nitzan.
Thank you.
Great being here. Nice meeting you.
Thank you,
Okay,
thank
bye.
you for your time.
No problem.